So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an Arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an Arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. We operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will, thus we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. saved if they simply hadn't deviated from the paradigm. Shame about all this blood. I just polished these boots. I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. As an apprentice, I was taught to see investigations through to their completion. Evidence begets evidence and can lead one to uncover further criminal elements. Any further interest is purely academic. Let's hear it. The fact that this camp isn't a bullet-strewn ruin suggests it was wiped out by something precise, or at least not as destructive as traditional weapons of war. Did you learn anything by examining the body? I ascertained the burn wounds, but I theorized plasma damage, not electrical. Seems I must brush up on my ballistic know-how. Did you have anything else? I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders not defend. Very well. I shall continue to search on my own. That's an incisor, all right. Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? Inform me. That auto mechanicals would fall in the camp's defense is logical. That there would only be one is not. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Obviously. The question remains as to who it was fighting, and how it was brought low. Did you have anything else? Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Good observation. Suffice it to say, the Protectorate would not take kindly to such a theft. Oh? I wouldn't expect a localized transmitter to harbor anything of note. Prove me wrong. I don't believe I would have learned that on my own. Seems I underestimated you. That's exceedingly useful. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Very well. I shall continue to search on my own. Salutations. Has your search uncovered anything of remark? You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? No. Sub Rosa could have cleaned this entire business up without anyone knowing were that the case. Focus on observations. Although I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an automech. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? It seems so simple, and yet it also appears to be the most probable outcome. I agree. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Agreed. I do believe that relay is of Protectorate make, and the refugees most certainly didn't build it themselves. They were likely Protectorate as well. I hypothesize that they used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. I admire your enthusiasm, but these refugees were traitors to the Protectorate, though I still believe there was a solution here beyond complete annihilation. Now with that finished, Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry. Seems machines return, bent on eliminating any stragglers. To bars!
Jump on Landstorm and I'll...
That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Keep your behavior within acceptable
Do you
parameters.
believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish.
The Paragon is a self-centered derivative take on the Grand Plan. That's how little the Protectorate respects your intellect.
Not to worry, Agent. My patients are holding together.
Thank you again. It's nice to have a little help around the camp. How can I be of service? My supplies are running low, but then again, so are my bits. Very well. Suppose I can't help anyone if I'm poor.
Ruth Bassar is the first among equals of the Void.
Thus, if we compare the rates of dust accumulation inside the settlement to out. Outside?
Salutations once more.
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
How about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct leg from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen ACAD execs I recruited last week. We're all just vomitous with envy.
Do me a kindness and mosey on.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. My apologies. Barney is sometimes overzealous in the guarding of my body, though when it comes to Protectorate arbiters, it is perhaps warranted.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
Yes. Yes, it was. I'd hoped to be proven wrong, but vindication has cemented my resolve. I shall uncover what happened, no matter what.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you. of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Sub Rosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Sub Rosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Fine. But if this uptight tin can swings that hammer anywhere near me, there's gonna be trouble.
I was afraid of this. Remember to duck if he starts swinging, all right?
Let us be off, Commander.
That scum. That miserable scum. To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the Sovereign. I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. Were they still the Protectorate, such would be a traitorous aim to entertain. But a Protectorate led by the Consul is no Protectorate at all. I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign, but I will need to deal with those who strayed. That it does. How long has this conspiracy been in motion without my realizing? The very thought makes my blood boil. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related to the matter, but we've wasted enough time with my ruminating. Let us be off. Allowing an operative as dangerous as Marisol to go free is a disturbing notion. If I ever see her again, I shall strike first, before she can. Certainly. I consider myself an open tome. Quite well. I am able to uphold justice wherever it may flag. Bolstered, of course, by your steady support. Was there more in this vein you wish to discuss? Why, he is of the Matriarch's direct lineage. Only he possesses the understanding to lead us all. Someone not Matriarch ordained would bring the Protectorate to ruin. And now, with him so direly mentally refreshed, I fear he can never lead again. The Protectorate's future is in a state of horrid flux. But be that as it may, the Consul shall not lead Arcadia in the Sovereign's stead, not while I yet draw breath. She taught me all that I know. Her teaching style was stern, but enlightening. If ever I erred, she would teach me to avoid making such a mistake in the future. Though she did not raise me from infancy, I was brought into her tutelage quite early. I spent a great deal of my life looking up to her. Her death weighs leaden on my shoulders. We must find her killer and bring them to justice, lest justice in Arcadia truly fall to ruin. In every respect, save being humans, and perhaps even that is arguable in the Sentinel's case. Where arbiters uphold justice and loyalty within the Protectorate, the Sentinels operate on its fringes. They are clandestine operatives, little more than alleyway backstabbers. I find them wholly unnecessary. As you might expect, they are the Consul's pet project. Straightforward. I was trained from a young age under the tutelage of Supreme Arbiter Marthana Andros, alongside my co-protege. Only those rated most highly on the Protectorate Acumen test could be placed even among the ranks of arbiters. And to be mentored by the Supreme Arbiter herself was a great honor. Moreover, she taught her protégés to seek out evidence before judging as they saw fit, despite the fact that an arbiter needs nothing of the sort to declare something a crime. Sneer all you like, but our society has operated in this manner for more than 100 years. Normally, arbiters do not need to prosecute, for all operate as they should. As the Protectorate's most elite, we protégés needed to be able to think flexibly and adapt to situations that faced us should they require adaptation. At least, I believe that's why. Would that I could still ask her. Alas. An arbiter would never abuse their power. Every action we take is on behalf of the Sovereign and upholding the Protectorate. In any other society, I could see such a scenario resulting in anarchy, but the Protectorate is matriarch ordained. Our devotion is ironclad. Why would they need to? The Protectorate provides everything any individual could want. Anything beyond the norm is unnecessary at best and actively traitorous at worst. Ask, and I shall answer. Who amongst our motley assortment would you care to discuss? I find Agent Ibarra most curious. His system of values differs from my own, but not so much as I would expect. I look forward to understanding him better. He faces an interesting dilemma as an isolated member of the Earth Directorate. As do you, of course. I hope you both remain steadfast to your values. She is an endearing piece of engineering. Her continued functionality, despite her advanced age, speaks to a skilled caretaker, though she retains certain quirks. Earlier, she bumped into my head, bleating, "Please do your part to keep the incognito clean. Remove any and all foreign mineral deposits." She is an enemy combatant, and were I not in your command, I would be honor-bound to bring her low. Yet, she is also oddly intriguing. She does not possess the scavenger's appetite of her colleagues. Perhaps if I came to know her better, I might, find techniques to use against her fellows. Her decision to break from the corporatists is impressive indeed. I merely hope it does not muddy the waters of her resolve. I have absolutely no inkling whatsoever why you would choose to bring a deranged cultist aboard. Azaz's kind plagued Arcadia even before the invasion. To be forced to call her colleague is almost more than I can bear. I can only hope she does not see it fit to pilot our ship into a rift to sate her own macabre ambitions. Verily, idle gossip hardly suits an arbiter anyhow.
Not getting paid by the word. Make it quick. I look like I'm from the Human Welfare Department? Go find someone else to yop at. Why in blazes didn't you start with that? So, the upper rungers are suddenly in a twist about all the mishaps, huh? Figures it'd take them this long. You've access to the main floor, but mind yourself. There's a fair few hazards about the factory, and folks on the upper level aren't like to be as amenable as me about your visit.
Be